Hello friends and welcome to Knowledge by Nature. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you our first peek at the week of 2022. So, if that's something you're interested in, stick around. All right, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I'm a homeschooling mom to a second grader. We love all things books, homeschool, and sharing our journey with you. And if that is something you're interested in, I would love if you consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome back. It is always awesome to have you. So yes, hello 2022. So we took a really long break. We took a very long extended break. It ended up being a lot longer than I anticipated. But you know what? We enjoyed December and we really relaxed and had some family time. And let me just show you, 9 days. That's all of the actual full school days that we did in December. So you can see that we really did take a nice long break. It was awesome, but because we took such a long break, I knew that I would need to have some sort of schedule or routine planned to really get going this year. And so that is where this has come in. And this is really just a routine or an idea to get our feet going, to get the ball rolling, and to make sure that I don't come back into the new year going bam, 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 and not taking breaks and not relaxing. And so this is just as much for me to make sure that we slow down as it is for us to stay on schedule. And so let me show you kind of my idea that I created at the first of the year to help make sure that we worked back in smoothly. So the first thing that I did here is that I made sure that our mornings started slow, and I left a lot of room for like waking up, having some free time, and then I have moved into let's get some movement going. So let's either go down and do the treadmill or the bike or do some stretches. I've just got some time here for working out or just getting some movement going. And then I want to start the actual day with a game. Now this helps that there was already like a book and a game challenge that starts in January, but this is a plan that I had back in December that I wanted to start incorporating a game every day of a morning because we did that in December. We loved it. The day went beautifully. So I wanted to bring that into the new year. Then I want to do math. First thing, that's our first thing. And then it's done, it's out of the way. And sometimes that's just a heavy cloud because, math is not a favorite for anybody. And even though she's really good at math, it's just nice to knock that out right away. Then I have reminded myself that we need to have a snack. And then we're going to do a chore. And this just gives us a nice 30-minute break of we've really done a big one. And then we're going to relax, we're going to have a snack, we're going to recharge, and then we're going to get started back in. Now this, as you can see, kind of like floats around here. And not every day is going to be the same where she has an outschool class on Friday. And again, this is a routine. But then after our snack and chore, we're going to move back into some homeschool. We're going to do our reading, we're going to do our history, we're going to do our science if we're going to, handwriting, all of that kind of stuff is going to be in this period of time. Then we're going to break for lunch, and we generally tend to have a late lunch because we tend to start a little bit later of the morning. Then we're moving into, a lot of times actually we're starting to just have an extended break here. I let her play for just a little while longer maybe, and then I may read, or we may jump right back into doing like some logic and Legos or drawing and art or a craft. Or if we just got disrupted during this section, we might pick something back up. I want to make sure that I'm reading some literature, like classic stories every week. And so I've put that in here as a little reminder to, if I haven't done this, do it. And some of this can easily be taken away because I may have times that I need to be working about 2 o'clock. So you can see that all of these things she could do herself. So she could go build with Legos. We could skip literature if we needed to. She could do drawing or art by herself if I needed to do some work. So then you see at 3 o'clock, we try to have that's where free time starts. We don't have electronics during this time, but she does have free time where she can draw, she can play with toys, she can build with Legos, she can build a fort, whatever she wants to do. Free time. And then I'm limiting the screen time, which this is something I'm starting where she gets 2 hours a day. So every evening she gets 2 hours that she gets some screen time. She can watch or play or do whatever she wants to do. But I've noticed by limiting the screen time that she's playing so much better. So this is my plan. Let's take a look at our second week of the year here. Now, I will quickly show you, here was the first week that we moved into. It's very similar to what I talked about here, with just a little less, because we were a little bit gentler the very first week. We didn't do quite as much. But here is this week, and then we'll keep you updated as we go along. All right, so you'll see over here that I really like to plan in pencil, so I kind of have an idea of what I want to do all week, and then I come in and I put it in pen after we've actually done it. So the things that we've done on Monday were all about reading, Memoria Press spelling, handwriting, sentence building. We've really been focusing more on creating a good, solid sentence. And so we're just slowing down and really creating a good sentence. We have started CTC Math. This is something new. If you are interested to see what this is about, please put it down in the comments below, and I will do a separate video on this. Then we did our primary mathematics, mind benders. Then you see that we played the game Sum Swamp. So this was our game that day. We played this a lot and love it. And then we had 180 days, and we actually did 2 of those. We also did a KiwiCo box, which was really fun, and let me show you those things. So this specific KiwiCo was talking about Maria Mitchell, which saw a comet in the 1800s. And so we talked about constellations and the orbit and things like that for our solar system. And then we created this really cool gear orbit moving thing that I just think is really neat. We had a good time with this. This actually lights up, so we would be orbiting the sun. And then we did a lantern with constellations. Our book this day was The Thing About Yetis. This is a really cute book too. And then we had read aloud time where we actually read the first chapter of Harry Potter. I don't know that we're actually going to read it, but it was a fun time. Anyways, we read the first chapter. Again, I don't know if we're going to actually read it, but then we made a library trip where she picked up another Dog Man that she's already read, but that's okay. And then she picked up Cat Kid Comic Club Book 2. All right, let's move into Tuesday. All right, so Tuesday we're following the same thing. We did all about reading. This we actually read a story that day from the curriculum. Memoria Press spelling. Our game was Sight Word SWAT. So she chose to play Sight Word SWAT. You have these little fly swatters, and then you have little flies that have words on them. This was our game. And then we read Snowman at Night, which we love this series. It's so super fun. And on each page, you try to find the hidden things that are in each thing. So for instance, there's always a T-Rex on here. So I will show you right here. You can barely see that there is a T-Rex in the branch of the tree. So it is so fun. We love this series. We have quite a few, but that was our book for Tuesday. Then moving along, we worked on that sentence building again. We worked with our handwriting without tears, primary mathematics, and CTC math. This is actually very independent. I go in, it's online. I assign tasks for her, and she does those, and then I get a report on what her task was. We read our story of the world. Then we did Evan Moore's Skill Sharpener Science Workbook, where we talked about glaciers and icebergs. We did a little experiment with this, and we actually did this as a little short. So I uploaded that on Tuesday. If you're not subscribed, if you subscribe, I believe you'll get these little shorts, and I am trying to add more of those throughout my week. And so this was Tuesday. Now we're going in today, so you can see my plan is all about reading, spelling, handwriting, primary math, CTC, 180 days of social studies. We will continue on with our skill sharpeners, and then she has art this evening. So this is my plan for today. We'll catch back up with you later to see if this is actually what we do. All right, see you soon. Good Wednesday to you. So what we have done so far is all this stuff, which I will show you, but then we also had our story today, which is there was a cold lady who swallowed some snow. Then we also played Dino Tracks. That was our game this morning. This is a place value math game, and we really, really like it. And what is cool about this is it has multiple levels, which is one of my favorite things about games. You can play it just with that, or you have these action number cards, which here's an example of one of them. Or you have problem-solving cards, and here is an example of one of them. Well, actually, here's two. So I love these. This is a really, really great way to add in some more difficulty to this game. So I'm a huge fan of this game. I love the learning resources games. There's been very few of their things that I've ever bought that I've not been ecstatic about having. So again, not in any sort of order, but except we'll go backwards. We'll go backwards here. So let's take a look. We started off with primary math. Then we went in, actually, she started out with some reading time. She was reading this morning before I was even ready. So we did our reading, and then I'm going to go ahead and add down here the swallowed some snow, and then I'm going to add Dino Tracks to my math section. All right, so let's try this again. So she started out reading all by herself before we ever started the morning. And then we started off with the Dino Tracks and a cold lady who swallowed some snow. Then we moved into primary mathematics. Then we moved into doing our spelling, Memoria Press spelling, our handwriting. We did our grammar workbook, and then we just finished up all about reading. I have that we are going to do science, and we're actually about to go do that right now. So we're going to take you in there so that you can see what we're doing with the rest of that. And then I will catch back up with you later this evening or tomorrow. All right, so for our science, yesterday we did the Skill Sharpener Science Workbook, and we started doing the water and ice section here because it's winter, it's cold, things are freezing. So we studied all of this and read all of this material here, and we did almost all of the worksheets, but we left two to finish up with this. So yesterday we did this moving glacier, which this is what is left of that now. It's all like dried up. But again, this is part of our shorts that I put up yesterday. But we also prepared our mini iceberg. So hopefully it's all frozen, and we're going to check that out. But I'm going to have her do this to see if she remembers what all of these are. And then there's actually one more right here, types of water that she'll do. And then we will be done with this section. Now you could definitely stretch this out further than 2 days. You could definitely make this 1 day, but we are doing it as a 2-day on this particular one. And so she's going to do that, and then we will show you our mini iceberg that we did. So I'm going to go ahead and have her do that while I get the rest. Okay, so one of the things that I loved about both of these experiments is how quickly you could do them. Now, the second one did need to sit overnight, but we created this glacier. We created this iceberg in this jar. We're going to put this in the water so that we can see how much of an iceberg actually lives under the water and how much is above it. Let's try to get this out. Okay, that ended up being quite the ordeal to get out of the jar, actually, which I kind of wondered about that yesterday. But, so here we go. Do you want to set it into the ocean? Okay, so let's see if we can get it to kind of stand on its end. I don't think it's going to. All right, so it still gives her a representation of if there was a glacier in the ocean, that a large part of it is going to be underneath, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have
it looks way larger when you look down.
So we have a little piece of the ice on the top of the water, but there is a large piece of ice on the bottom under the water. So that is why these are so dangerous to ships, huh? All right, so here is our glacier. So it was fun, but I would definitely try to figure out a better way to get it out of your jar than what we did. I think our iceberg was too big for our jar, and so we had to actually melt it down because we couldn't get the big chunk. The circumference was just way too big to get it out at the end. But really fun. So she still has CTC math that she will do today, and I probably am just going to have her do some Adventure Academy because I'm about to have to get to work. So we will talk to you again tomorrow.
Bye.
Hello and happy Thursday. So I wanted to show you really quickly this CTC that she is now doing. So what I do is I go on here and I create task, and you'll see over there in the top that there's a little number 1. She can go over to that and she clicks that, and that tells her what homework that she has ready that needs to be done today. So she'll go ahead and she'll click that. And then she will have this start task, and so she has 2 today. I usually just assign 3, but today she is having 2. So I usually give her 2 different sections so you can see that she's dealing with whole numbers and she's dealing with addition. I have it set to where she has to complete this task with at least an 80% to be able to go on and consider it completed. Now, what do you do after you start your task?
Okay.
And then you'll see here that she gets a little
now
video.
This lesson we'll be comparing numbers.
It's going to show her, and then she will have some work to do. She can pause this, she can fast forward it, she can take it back.
The bigger number here is 25. Part B, 17 or 12. Now in this one, 17 is the bigger number.
So I'll go show you the rest of the things that we did today. Alright, so real quickly, let's just look here. I can't remember if we finished out with what all we did on Wednesday or not, but there is that. So we are on Thursday, and we did all about reading, Memoria Press spelling. We were going to do a story prompt, but I just went ahead and we're not doing that today, so I'll erase it. We did our grammar. We did primary math, Dino Tracks, Sum Swamp. She's doing her CTC math here. We were maybe going to do Story of the World, but again, we're not doing that today. We did a few sheets of 180 Days of Social Studies, and then we read our Snow Place Like Home for our reader. I actually did like a little hour by hour clip of as we were doing this on Instagram today. So if you're on Instagram and you happen to see that story, let me know what you thought of that. Otherwise, this is all we're doing today. We were supposed to have gymnastics, but the weather's nasty, so we're not going to be going to do that. And so this is Thursday. This is a little bit of a smaller day, but as you can see, we definitely still did a lot because today was a story day. She read a story. She had a big dictation day for this. She did a whole assessment on grammar today. She did a whole lesson of primary mathematics, and now she's doing 2 lessons on CTC math. So even on a day where we're just doing this, it was a lot. So it is still a very full day, even if it doesn't look like all of that looked. So we will see you again on Friday. Happy Friday. And then she does have an out-school class, so she will be doing that tomorrow. And then I'll kind of read through this and see if I need to do any adjustments for that. So just real quickly, I did go ahead and kind of modify this into what I think I might want to do. Since we didn't do Story of the World today, I moved that over. Friday is going to be a little bit more of a relaxing day. I may have her do Night Zookeeper. Reading time, she's just going to read a story tomorrow. That's all there is. We're not going to do an actual all about reading. She can read Dogman. She can read whatever she wants. I think we might work on like rhyming a little bit, just to kind of keep those sort of things fresh. That's something we need to work on just a little bit, actually. Night Zookeeper. I don't know if we'll do CTC or not. I really don't know. We might just give, I don't know. That's the glory of pencil, is I can just decide whatever. We'll probably for sure do Life of Fred. Here I have moved my Story of the World over. We might do Tinker Active. That's always something really fun to do on a Friday because it guarantees a experiment. Then I want to make sure that I read a classic story. So again, we'll have our game and our regular book. We might just do a little bit more reading aloud tomorrow, maybe read some more of a chapter book. So it's very helpful just to go ahead and pencil in some ideas. That way I kind of have something that I might want to jump off and do tomorrow. So this is what I'm thinking we might do tomorrow, but in all reality, who knows? We'll see you tomorrow. All right, so here we are at the end of the week, and you can see that Friday really turned out much differently than I had penciled in. I had so much work to do that I needed to kind of take Friday and just be able to do a lot of that. So a lot of this changed to a lot of digital time. She had an outschool class. She did some drawing. She did some Adventure Academy for Science. We played Some Swamp and Bingo together. She did CTC math. She did Adventure Academy for like grammar and some writing things. And then she did some reading time where she read Dog Man. So this is what I'm talking about with the pencil is I pencil it in. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I just put in what actually happened. So here was our second week of January. It's going really well. If you like this video, I would love if you give me a thumbs up, consider hitting that subscribe button, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye!